Mr. Tonse, you would have heard the commentary of Reserve Bank of India. This time they have kept the gunpowder dry and there is no change as far as policy rates are concerned. I want to understand from you, from banking point of view and especially your bank, how do you see the status quo in the current policy and the impact which is going to be there on the banks?
Hi Ankur, good morning. Thank you for having me over. This was actually on expected lines, and we feel that we, the banks, now have a bit of time to actually realign without thinking too much about the pressure that would come in on the margins. And if you look at the transmission that has happened, as expected, particularly on the deposit side, we do have a bit of an issue. We cannot go down beyond a particular point, but then the asset side always gets done very, very fast and almost instantaneously, right? And also, as was mentioned there by the governor himself, it is more than 100. That's 106 points since February. The transmission that has happened on the fresh and about 22 points on the overall deposits, right? So I think that way we have some breathing time now, expecting that perhaps the cut could come, say, in the month of December, the next MPC that happens. Our house view is that the terminal rate would be 5.25, and this may happen in December, is what we feel, and what I personally expect also. But this particular MPC announcement had a few very interesting points, if you could call that way. Like, for example, apart from just the rates, there was a good commentary also on how things are panning out since the last MPC, and a lot of change in dynamics that has happened. Now, another thing which Mr. Khara also was just now mentioning about the busy season, this is again what we are seeing this year is a very classical play out of the traditional busy season coming in. Just that it happened a little sooner than any normal year would see. This could perhaps be because of the GST cuts that happened 8-10 days ago that came into effect, and we are seeing a good bit of traction. I'm unable to get into the specifics because I just moved into the silent period after the close of Q2 yesterday. But then we are seeing a good traction on and this is uniform across all segments. So the busy season is definitely setting in, and growth and inflation being where they are, and what is expected in the next couple of quarters also, I think it made eminent sense to see a pause here. I stop now, Ankur.
Right. Definitely. There has been few announcements outside. There has been many announcements outside the policy as well, and especially the expected credit line, the ECL framework which has been announced, and the glide path has been given till FY31. However, the announcements, do you think that banks were prepared for it for April 2027, and how much of the impact or assessment was already done?
I think we have already factored in whatever impact would happen on our estimated growth also on the asset side. I think we do not have too much of an issue to realign ourselves. The book will automatically get adjusted. We are prepared for that. Mentally, we are already prepared for that. Just one thing I would like to mention here is the leeway that has now come into for the I'm taking a slightly step back. This is on the financing acquisitions. This will be a very good move, and this is what was being requested of the RBI also to smoothen out the credit streams. So this is one, maybe with certain, definitely when the guidelines come, it would come with certain guardrails, like getting into listed companies to start with. But this is a very good way of actually, because today if you see, there is not much of an issue on the supply side, it is more on the demand side. And with a lot of cash in hand for all the corporates, we feel that this will actually enable much more credit growth.
Right. There is also a proposal to issue a risk-based insurance premium for deposits for incentivizing sound risk management for banks. How much of the impact it will have on the banks? Do you think banks will have more room now?
Definitely. Particularly larger banks like ours, we would definitely benefit a lot. And this has been actually one of the demands also from our side that we have to get into this risk-based premium instead of having uniformly across. If you see, risk pricing happens in every other stream. Why not for this? So that was the logic which was being offered. And RBI has seen the logic in that and come up with the State Bank of India definitely will benefit. I would not like to get into specifics at this point, though it is not very easy to calculate. I mean, not difficult to calculate.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Mr. Tonse, thank you so much for taking